Hi everyone, it's Louise from Louloupurple. Today I'm going to be using pink ink stamps and I am going to be doing two projects, one card and one box frame. And I'm going to use the new pink ink stamps, so I am going to be using the sea nymphs and the shells. I've gone ahead and used the pierced square dies on my stamping card. I am going to use the Mermaid Lagoon Distress Paint by Tim Holtz, and I'm just watering it down a bit with some water, and I'm just using my paintbrush to apply the paint onto my card. Once the paint had all dried, I then used my cracked pistachio distress paint, and I'm just doing the same, putting it onto my mat, adding a bit of water. This time I'm going to use a piece of acetate and I'm just splodging this over the whole of my background. And splodging is a very technical term. Once the distress paint had all dried, I then used my Cosmic Shimmer Pixie powders. The first one is Teal Wash and the second one I'm going to use is Golden Mint. So I'm literally just adding the powder to a splodge of water on my mat and just mixing it together. I'm then going to use my fan brush and just splatter the page with the paint. I am going to be using my jet black archival ink to stamp this image. So here I'm trying out a new product to me, which is called Mask It. You stamp your image on, cut it out and place it over the top of your image on your piece of card, which unfortunately I forgot to video. So I'm just painting over the top of the image with the Mask It over the top. So hopefully when we're finished, you can pull the Mask It off and your image underneath will still be white. So here again, I'm just using the acetate to do the splodging technique. Once again, I'm using the pixie powders to do the splashing over the top of the image. Going back to my background piece of card, I'm going to be using the shell stamp set and I'm just lining these up so that they all fit nicely, and the top one I'm just placing at the bottom to make sure that everything is spaced equally so that when I turn my piece of card the shells will all line up again on the next side of the piece of card. So I'm using my archival jet black ink again and I'm just stamping it, closing it down. Now here you'll see me wipe the stamps because the pigment from the pixie powders had picked up and was on the top of the stamp, so I'm just cleaning them in between to get a clearer impression of the shells. So as you can see, I've just done the first one. I'm turning my card around and I'm stamping the image down the next side of the card. And you just repeat this round all 4 sides of your background piece of card. As you can see here, I got a bit too happy with the splashing of the pixie powders in the background, so I'm using some water to flood the area and a piece of kitchen towel to pick up the pigment so that I can see my saying. I'm now going to use the bubbles that come in the seahorse stamp set, and I'm using my Forget-Me-Not archival ink, and I'm just stamping the bubbles all around the outside edge of my piece of card. I'm now using a script background stamp, and I'm just randomly stamping this around the seahorse. So here I'm just testing out some colours of ink for my seaweed stamp. I go with the green in the end, and I'm using this around the outside edge of my card. Now for the moment of truth to see how well the mask it product worked. Not too bad. Now the mask you can stick onto your stamp set so that you can use it again. Once again, I'm using some water and a piece of kitchen towel just to remove some of the pigment which has gone over into the white areas. I am using my Derwent Colour Soft pencils to colour in my images. On my mermaid, I'm going to use 2 different purples and a silver grey, and I'm just literally doing different areas of the mermaid's body and tail, and then I'm going to use my blending fluid with my paper stump to blend the colours together. I'm going to use my Cosmic Shimmer acrylic glue to stick my backgrounds to my black pieces of card. I'm using some Sticks to foam pads for my centerpiece so that it is slightly raised and adds a bit more dimension. As usual, I'm going to use my acrylic glue on the foam pads as well, because this gives you a bit of wiggle time to move your top piece of card into position before everything sticks firmly. I have cut out the second image of the mermaid, and here I'm using my bone folder just to shape her wings and her tail, and I'm sticking her over the top of the image on the card, and I'm going to use my Sticks to foam pads to add dimension to her wings and her tail. I'm going to use my diamond stickles over the mermaid's wings to make them sparkle. So I'll just show you a close-up, there you go, of the sparkly wings. That's the card finish. So moving on to the box frame, I'm using my archival ink again, and I'm just going to stamp some of the seahorses and seaweed and the bubbles on the box frame. Stamping onto this box frame was quite difficult as the surface is quite slippery. As you can see, the image I just stamped is a bit wonky, so I'm using my StazOn cleaner just to clean off the ink on the box frame, which works quite well. Just leave it to dry for a little bit and re-stamp your image, trying not to make it move. So I'm stamping some seaweed and some bubbles around the outside edge as well to show you a little bit and move on to the end. And that is the box frame project all finished. As usual, if you would like to buy any of the products I've used in this video, they will be listed on my website blog post. I will leave a link in the description box below this video. If you are watching this on my YouTube channel, links to my website, Facebook and more will be in the description box below, or click on the end cards at the end of this video. If you are watching on Pink Ink's channel, links to their website and more will be in the description box below. I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you have, please give me a thumbs up or leave me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and to Pink Ink's. Click on the bell icon so you never miss a new video. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you got inspired.